Hey guys, it's me, the owner of the Pizza Place, Elijah, and I'm here back with Doki Doki Lyrical Plus. And we did balance last time, and today we are doing reflection. Am I bothering you? No. Okay, just checking. It's hard to tell since you always look so into it when you're reading. It makes me scared to interrupt. Well, it's within my expectations to be interrupted when I read here. It's mainly when I'm by myself like that I don't like it. That makes sense. I guess if you're here in the first place, then you're more ready to socialize, even if it's a little bit of prodding. It's not so bad to be social if I let others do the work, so it can be healthy to put myself in a social environment every now and then. It's mostly difficult when I don't know anyone, or there are too many people, or everyone is being too silly for me to keep up with. Yuri glances across the room and at Sayori and Natsuki. Sayori has her head cocked back and her mouth open, trying to catch pieces of a cookie that Natsuki is lobbing into the air. But the pieces keep bouncing off her face and hitting the floor. Maybe I should say something. No need, they just ran out of a cookie. What a waste. They've really become good friends, haven't they? I'm happy. Sari seems particularly good at making that happen. But the two of them are both on the energetic side, so I suppose it works out well. Yeah, come to think of it, you and I haven't had many chances to talk to it one-on-one, have we? Though that may be particularly my fault, since I'm supposed to be the one engaging club members. Not at all. I've probably formed a habit of drawing minimal attention to myself. The responsibility is equally on me, at least to display some odd openness to engage. Well, what about during times that like lunch? Do you meet up with friends? I just read. Oh, but I like it that way. It feels nice to be carried off again after a morning of classes. Wait. Yeah. Do you always read fantasy? Oh, not always. I suppose it's all I've read recently, but only because I'm in the middle of this series. There are still 2 more books after this one. I guess those long books suit you well since you've spent so much time reading. Well, fantasy may be my favorite, but after that, I more or less indiscriminate to genres. I'll read anything with depth and maturity. Oh yeah, even like romance. Well, there are a lot of books that have elements of romance in them. Oh come on, Yuri, you know what I mean. Monica lowers her voice. It's a guilty pleasure of mine, so I won't tell anyone if you do, too. Maybe more when I was in middle school. I mean, I was really lonely and people were mean to me a lot. So it kind of felt like, please don't make me think about the past. Sorry, I'm just super curious. You know, we should totally pick out a romance novel to read. That would be so much fun. Absolutely not. Really, even if it was between us. Try ask someone who has no shame like Natsuki. Ouch. Oh, sorry, I swear I didn't mean that. Well, I guess it was my fault for pressing you. I'm like that for things in my past too. You know, things I feel too embarrassed to re-experience. There's nothing wrong with growing out of things. It happens to everyone. For instance, Natsuki's interest in manga reminds me quite a bit of how intense I used to be about my own interests. Makes me think of that she'll like grow out of it too. Hey, were you talking about me? No, we were just talking about how interests have changed over the years. When did you get into manga, Natsuki? Like a couple years ago, I guess. I was already sort of into it before that, but I wasn't really going hard at until then. Oh yeah, what was it that inspired you to get more into it? I don't know. I guess, let me think. It was after I discovered a series that I really liked. Yeah, I was just like really fed up with a lot of things, and I got super into this one series that I really related to. I guess I had an edgy phase where I just hated everyone around me and I wanted to be by myself. Hey, kind of like Yuri. Hanukkah. Sorry. That's completely wrong, so. It's still cool that you both really found your thing. They're almost like opposites, but it sounds like they helped you a lot through hard times. You know how you know it. Wow, what the heck is that book even bigger than the last one you were reading? It's technically slightly longer, but not by very much. How high do you think it would go if you stacked the whole series? Natsuki estimates by holding her hand high above her head, sizing up an imaginary stack. I should get one of those mangas that like 50 volumes long so that I can say I've read more than you. Haha. Not that I have the money for that. Please, that would hardly count when your books only have a few words per page. I know, I was just joking. I could never actually read books like yours. It's too boring for me. Here shoots a glare at Natsuki. It's not boring. Shall I said it's for me, not for you. I can have my own opinion. I just think it's too convoluted. Sari, are those from the floor? Gross. Also, wash your hands before touching any of my books. But my hands aren't dirty. Just do it. The oils are there even if you can't see them. Fine. Sari trots out of the door and Natsuki follows. Yuri look up a little upset. What kind of nerve does she have to call my hobby boring? Well, she did correct herself. Hardly, she was so condescending. What's the real definition of condescending? I don't mind if she thinks it's not for her. I already understand that it's not for everyone. But she knows well how much these mean to me, so how about just leaving me alone instead of needlessly telling me the things you hate about it? I'm sorry, Yuri. You may be right that this won't be like the last time people have strong feelings about what they don't like and don't like. Especially in a literature club, so I should figure out how to mediate discussions to keep them positive and constructive. For the record, I've always been impressed by the levels of creativity in your books, and also your ability to get through them so quickly. Thank you. Okay, well, this is something that I'll have to think about and revisit. I'm sure I can help Natsuki and find some common ground with you. Common ground isn't necessary, I just wish to be respected. Either way, I'll do my best. I'm skeptical when it comes to Natsuki. I trust you, Monica, but I'm skeptical. Okay, everyone. We have a special club meeting today. As you know, the Literature Club is a place where we get to share things that we're really passionate about. That also means we should be mindful of how we respond to each other's feelings. I think we have a chance to turn our differences into positive energies for each other. Aren't you being a little dramatic about this? This is important to me. Well, sir, I just feel like I'm being accused or something. No, I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I'm sorry if that came off that way. But our conversation yesterday made me reflect on the power of language, and I thought it would be a good topic for the Literature Club, don't you think? I'm sure we're going to have differences in opinions a lot, so I need to make sure we're prepared to keep a positive atmosphere in the club. If you say so, sure. The cool thing about language is that it gives us a lot of different ways to express the same idea or emotions. We have a lot of control over how we want the other person to feel when receiving our thought. This goes for poetry, narratives, casual conversations, basically anything. For example, Siri, what's your favorite food? I have them organized by category. Should I start with snacks or do you mean full meals? Should I include breakfast? Oh my goodness. Oh jeez. Okay, how about your favorite fruit? That's easy. Cherries. Really? I always thought cherries tasted nasty. What? Cherries are delicious. Whoa, that's a pretty strong reaction. Well, I just don't understand how somebody could think cherries are nasty. How does it make you feel? I don't know, sad. Defensive, maybe. Yeah, I got defensive. See, the reason you had such a strong reaction wasn't just because I don't like cherries. It's because you felt like your opinion was under attack. But that's weird, right? Something like taste is completely subjective. But when I say something like I think cherries taste nasty, I'm just using objective language. I'm challenging Siri's reality that cherries are delicious with my own, which is the cherries are nasty. Wait, hold on. How is that objective when you just said it was only your opinion? It has to do with the way our brains interpret the words. You're talking about the reality of the cherries, not your feelings about them. Like Siri. Let's rewind for a second and pretend I didn't tell you that I think my cherries are nasty. Good. So what if instead of that I said, like, I've tried cherries and they're not for me. It's not the kind of flavor I enjoy. Well, that's fine. As long as you don't call them nasty. Nasty is a nasty word. Okay, so cherries was kind of a weird example, but I think it gets the point across. This time around, instead of talking about the cherries, I just talked about my feelings and Siri didn't get defensive. So instead of clashing with each other, it's like we received an invitation to talk about our differences. Yuri, you don't need to take notes. I'm not gonna quiz you or something. I know that. I was just... sorry, I didn't mean to call you out. You can do whatever you like. But does anyone else have any thoughts so far? Yeah, I just feel like I shouldn't have to put all my language through a filter just to protect someone's feelings. Well, you don't have to. The choice is yours on how you want to come across to other people. I'm only suggesting it as a tool to help turn your differences into a positive experience rather than an argument. Right, Siri? Whatever we say, cherry hater. Oh, come on. Siri, I actually like cherries. I was just saying that to help demonstrate. What the heck? I've been duped. I'm so sorry, Siri. I'll make it up to you later. How about a cherry sundae? You're welcome to dupe me anytime, but my beloved president. Buying your people's loyalty, how deplorable. Oh, you would turn down a free sundae, Yuri. You were certainly a fan of those cupcakes I brought the end of the week. That was, I was reading and you're not keeping track of them. No, that's fair enough. We're getting off topic. So now that we have the gist of it, how about we try something more relevant to the club? Like manga, right? Let's try to have a productive discussion about our differences in opinion. Yuri, what do you want to start? Well, I'd rather not, so. How come? Well, because I don't see how anything productive can come from that. It's just going to start a fight. No, it'll be fine. That's why I'm here to moderate. Let's just have a calm and rational discussion. Yeah, give me a little more credit. In that, child, you don't have to coddle my feelings. I always think it's more respectable to just speak your mind. Respectable. Yuri's expression changes at that word. As Monica recalls, being respected was the crux of the matter for Yuri. Well, the point of the exercise isn't exactly like, it's fine. I have nothing against anyone personally. You're entitled to enjoy whatever it is you like. I just prefer more depth and nuance in my reading material. I look for stories that are imaginative and sophisticated beyond the surface level. Oh, well, that's just a misunderstanding then. I thought you were going to say that the manga's for children or something. Like, I don't hear enough of that. But there's plenty of deep manga. I'm not clueless about manga. I've read my own fair share when I was younger. What? Are you serious? How come you never told me? Because I'm past that point in my life and I really would prefer not to revisit it. I prefer a more mature thing now. Yeah, excuse me. Okay, hold on. Can I jump in here? Let's try to keep things subjective. Because if you imply the manga is immature, then aren't you implying that someone is immature for being into it? Well, maybe it's immature to judge people for having different tastes than you. Natsuki. Nobody's immature. I've read Natsuki's manga and Yuri's fantasy, and I love them both in their own way. Okay. It's great that you like it, but I still find it boring. Boring isn't subjective. Okay, it bores me. That's subjective. But, I mean, the thing about... This is ridiculous. Do you see why I didn't want to participate in this? I know that it was going to make people upset. I'm not upset. Like I said, I don't care what other people think. But I always got the impression that you secretly looked down upon me, so I'm glad my suspicions were confirmed. That's not true at all. You're making up assumptions. You can't blame me for getting defensive when nobody ever has the least bit of respect for the things that I'm into. The only thing I look down upon is when people make fun of me for just being by myself and trying to mind my own business. Well, have you looked into a mirror? In the mirror? Tell me again about respect after calling all of my interest immature. You can't. Please stop. Please. You don't have to mean the things you're saying right now. Let's just all be friends. I didn't mean for this to happen. Well, it did. So please don't invite yourself to try and solve other people's problems next time, okay? Yuri's piercing words send the club room into a choked silence as she gathers her things. She leaves. Holy crap. I'd never heard her sound like that before. She must be so pissed. Well, you weren't very nice either, so... I was just saying. How did this happen? It's my fault. Yuri wasn't wrong. I shouldn't have tried to moderate a conflict when I know how bad I am at dealing with conflicts. It was really a stupid thing for me to do. It's nobody's fault, and it wasn't stupid. Everyone in the club is a nice person. Nobody would have expected this. But I guess we're sensitive about the things we really love. Honestly, she's kind of proud of the opponent herself. Like I said, I don't care if you're into manga, but if you're actually looking down on other people for it. That's kind of the point I was trying to make in the first place. It's not about sugarcoating things. It's about just recognizing and understanding our differences. Okay, but here's the thing about that. Yuri actually looks down on me. It has nothing to do with her word choice or anything like that. So I see what you're trying to do, but I really think the problem here is her, not just like the way we talk to each other, right? I mean, Yuri isn't like that. She's a lot sweeter than you're giving her credit for. I'm sure she'll be reflecting on this. I actually think everyone should. It'll be fine. I'll figure something out. Wow, I'm just like saying that instinctively. I'm just setting myself up to cause more problems. It wasn't your fault, Monica. You don't have to beat yourself up over it. If you ask me, it's a good that the truth finally came out, because I can move on now. But it's fine, I promise. Let's just get our mind off this, okay? In fact, it's a good opportunity to read some manga without having to worry about being Yuri's superiority complex. Don't be mean. I'll talk to or read manga or whatever you want, but don't be mean to my friends, okay? Sorry. I'm just better. Everything will be okay. I mean, I don't have the answers, but I at least know that we are all good people and don't want to hurt each other. This will be a learning experience. Monica says that, but her uneasiness is given away by how much she has to force the reassurance tone in her voice. This was bound to happen eventually. Natsuki and Yuri have always engaged with each other at the least of anyone, and this is the reason. As Sari and Natsuki proceed to distract themselves with manga, Monica sighs to herself, unable to shake her worried thoughts. Well, the club really have to just come to terms with the facts that some members will be incompatible with each other. Monica desperately doesn't want to admit that, and she knows Sari doesn't either. But for once, a solution doesn't seem to be in sight. Alright then. Alright guys, if you guys like this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and click the notification button so you never miss any of our videos. And for that, I'll see you all next time. Bye everyone.